間違いない。またあれだ。
When tragedy is about to strike, Satoru Fujinuma finds himself sent back several minutes before the accident occurs. The detached 29-year-old manga artist had taken advantage of this powerful yet mysterious phenomenon which he calls revival to save many lives. However, when he is wrongfully accused of murdering someone close to him, Satoru is sent back to the past once again, but this time to 1988. 18 years in the past. Soon, he realizes that the murder may be connected to the abduction and killing of one of his classmates, the solitary and mysterious Kaio Hinazuki, that took place when he was a child. This is his chance to make things right. Erased follows Satoru in his mission to uncover what truly transpired 18 years ago and prevent the death of his classmate while protecting those he cares about in the present.
どういたしまして。行こうぜ。
As a wild youth, elementary school student Shoya Ishida sought to beat boredom in the cruelest ways. When the deaf Shoko Nishimiya transfers into his class, Shoya and the rest of his class thoughtlessly bully her for fun. However, when her mother notifies the school, he is singled out and blamed for everything done to her. With Shoko transferring out of the school, Shoya is left at the mercy of his classmates. He is heartlessly ostracized all throughout elementary and middle school, while teachers turn a blind eye. Now in his third year of high school, Shoya is still plagued by his wrongdoings as a young boy. Sincerely regretting his past actions, he sets out on a journey of redemption, to meet Shoko once more and make amends. A silent voice tells the heartwarming tale of Shoya's reunion with Shoko and his honest attempts to redeem himself, all while being continually haunted by the shadows of his past. The seemingly ordinary and unimpressive Saitama has a rather unique hobby: being a hero. In order to pursue his childhood dream, he trained relentlessly for 3 years and lost all of his hair in the process. Now, Saitama is incredibly powerful, so much so that no enemy is able to defeat him in battle. In fact, all it takes to defeat evildoers is just one punch. This has led to an unexpected problem. He is no longer able to enjoy the thrill of battling and has become quite bored. This all changes with the arrival of Genos, a 19-year-old cyborg who wishes to be Saitama's disciple after seeing what he is capable of. Genos proposes that the two join the Hero Association in order to become a certified heroes that will be recognized for the positive contributions to society, and Saitama, shocked that no one knows who he is, quickly agrees. And thus begins the story of One Punch Man, an action comedy that follows an eccentric individual who longs to fight strong enemies that can hopefully give him the excitement he once felt, and just maybe he'll become popular in the process. In the year 2071, humanity has colonized several of the planets and moons of the solar system, leaving the now uninhabitable surface of planet Earth behind. The Intersolar System Police attempts to keep peace in the galaxy, aided in part by the outlaw bounty hunters referred to as cowboys. The ragtag team aboard the spaceship Bebop are two such individuals. Mellow and carefree Spike Spiegel is balanced by his boisterous and pragmatic partner Jet Black, as the pair makes a living chasing bounties and collecting rewards. Thrown of course by the addition of new members that they meet in their travels: Ayn, a genetically engineered, highly intelligent Welsh corgi; femme fatale Faye Valentine, an enigmatic trickster with memory loss; and the strange computer whiz-kid Edward Wong. The crew embarks on thrilling adventures that unravel each member's dark and mysterious past little by little. Well balanced with high-density action and light-hearted comedy, Cowboy Bebop is a space western classic and an homage to the smooth and improvised music it is named after. Centuries ago, mankind was slaughtered to near extinction by monstrous humanoid creatures called Titans, forcing humans to hide in fear behind enormous concentric walls. What makes these giants truly terrifying is that their taste for human flesh is not born out of hunger, but what appears to be out of pleasure. To ensure their survival, the remnants of humanity began living within defensive barriers, resulting in 100 years without a single Titan encounter. However, that fragile calm is soon shattered when a colossal Titan manages to breach the supposedly impregnable outer wall, reigniting the fight for survival against the man-eating abominations. After witnessing a horrific personal loss at the hands of the invading creatures, Eren Yeager dedicates his life to their eradication by enlisting in the Survey Corps, an elite military unit that combines the merciless humanoids outside the protection of the walls. Based on Hajime Isayama's award-winning manga, Shingeki no Kyojin follows Eren along with his adopted sister Mikasa Ackerman and his childhood friend Armin Allard as they join the brutal war against the Titans and race to discover a way of defeating them before the walls are breached.
もう大丈夫だ、少年。
The appearance of quirks, newly discovered superpowers, has been steadily increasing over the years, with 80% of humanity possessing various abilities from manipulation of elements to shapeshifting. This leaves the remainder of the world completely powerless, and Izuku Midoriya is one such individual. Since he was a child, the ambitious middle schooler has wanted nothing more than to be a hero. Izuku's unfair fate leaves him admiring heroes and taking notes on them whenever he can, but it seems that his persistence has borne some fruit. Izuku meets the #1 hero and his personal idol, All Might. All Might's quirk is a unique ability that can be inherited, and he has chosen Izuku to be his successor. Enduring many months of grueling training, Izuku enrolls in UA High, a prestigious high school famous for its excellent hero training program, and this year's freshmen look especially promising. With his bizarre but talented classmates and the looming threat of villainous organization, Izuku will soon learn what it really means to be a hero. Mitsuha Miyamizu, a high school girl, yearns to live the life of a boy in the bustling city of Tokyo, a dream that stands in stark contrast to her present life in the countryside. Meanwhile in the city, Taki Tachibana lives a busy life as a high school student while juggling his part-time job and hopes for a future in architecture. One day, Mitsuha awakens in a room that is not her own and suddenly finds herself living the dream life in Tokyo, but in Taki's body. Elsewhere, Taki finds himself living Mitsuha's life in the humble countryside. In pursuit of an answer to this strange phenomenon, they begin to search for one another. Your Name revolves around Mitsuha and Taki's actions, which begin to have a dramatic impact on each other's lives, weaving them into a fabric held together by fate and circumstances. In order for something to be obtained, something of equal value must be lost. Alchemy is bound by this law of equivalent exchange, something that young brothers Edward and Alphonse Elric only realize after attempting human transmutation, the one forbidden act of alchemy. They pay a terrible price for their transgression. Edward loses his left leg, Alphonse his physical body. It is only by the desperate sacrifice of Edward's right arm that he is able to affix Alphonse's soul to a suit of armor. Devastated and alone, it is the hope that they would both eventually return to their original bodies that gives Edward the inspiration to obtain metal limbs called Automail and become a state alchemist, the Fullmetal Alchemist. 3 years of searching later, the brothers seek the Philosopher's Stone, a mythical relic that allows an alchemist to overcome the law of equivalent exchange. Even with Colonel Roy Mustang, Lieutenant Ryza Hawkeye, and Lieutenant Colonel Maz Hughes on their side, the brothers find themselves caught up in a nationwide conspiracy that leads them not only to the true nature of the elusive Philosopher's Stone, but their country's murky history as well. In between finding a serial killer and racing against time, Edward and Alphonse must ask themselves if what they are doing will make them human again or take away their humanity. A Shinigami, as a god of death, can kill any person, provided that they see their victim's face and write their victim's name in a notebook called a Death Note. One day, Ryuk, bored by the Shinigami lifestyle and interested in seeing how a human would use a Death Note, drops one into the human realm. High school student and prodigy Light Yagami stumbles upon the Death Note, and since he deplores the state of the world, tests the deadly notebook by writing a criminal's name in it. When the criminal dies immediately following his experiment with the Death Note, Light is greatly surprised and quickly recognizes how devastating the power that has fallen into his hands could be. With this divine capability, Light decides to extinguish all criminals in order to build a new world where crime does not exist and people worship him as a god. Police, however, quickly discover that a serial killer is targeting criminals and consequently try to apprehend the culprit. To do this, the Japanese investigators count on the assistance of the best detective in the world, a young and eccentric man known only by the name of L. Unless you've been living under a rock, and a massive boulder at that, you must know about Studio Ghibli. The great Hayao Miyazaki is credited for Ghibli's most successful movies, and you've probably even seen at least one of his masterpieces, as they are immensely popular even in the West. My Neighbor Totoro, Princess Momonoke, Grave of Fireflies, and of course Spirited Away are just some Ghibli movies that anyone who wants to get into anime can and should watch. Miyazaki's works often incorporate themes such as environmentalism, love, family, and more. The stories are heartwarming and at times heartrending, but they're always full of warmth and charm. Everyone should be able to find at least one Miyazaki film that resonates with them. Thank you for watching my video about a top 10 anime for someone who doesn't watch anime. Make sure to smash like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more anime videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one.